One of the most important, if not the most important position on the offensive side of the ball is the offensive line. I don't care how good your quarterback is. If he don't have time to make a read, he can't get it done. In this video, I'm very excited to react to offensive line coach for Colorado, Coach Boyle. What's good, YouTube? MagDog TV back with another video. If you're new here, stopping by for the first time, hit the like, subscribe button, comment. I really appreciate it. Also, click the notification bell. That way, whenever I upload a video, you guys be aware.
All right, thanks, Coach Boyle, for joining us. I'll give you the first one, just what your time's been like the last 6 to 8 weeks here that you've been in Boulder, and then we'll open up for questions.
Extremely busy. So once we found out we were on our road to Boulder, it's been on the road recruiting. It's been getting to know the players. It's been recruiting and recruiting, basically. So it's been kind of a whirlwind. Since Coach Lewis made the decision to come out here from Kent State.
Coach Brian Howell from the Boulder Daily Camera. You've been coaching for a long time, but I believe this is your first time in Power 5. What's been some differences you've noticed in the first 8 weeks? Now you haven't played games yet, but any differences from here as opposed to where you've been?
You know where I've been from before. A lot of differences. Overall attitude, the facilities, the type of athletes you're working with. There's such a big change. From pretty much coaching at every level that there is, except for D3. So I've been through them all, and just like I said, overall the facilities and just blew me away when I came in here. I could not believe how nice. And I've been through Boulder before. We practiced here when I was a head coach at Shattern State. We practiced here when we played at Colorado Mines.
Having a resume like Coach Boyle, considering he coached D2 football as well, is very key for Colorado staff because it says that he can relate to all forms of players, and I think this is going to be great for Colorado.
Hi, Coach. Adam Munster Tiger, 24/7 Sports. Coach Lewis obviously runs an up-tempo system offensively. What specific traits as a result of that do you look for when you're recruiting an offensive lineman?
We pretty much changed all of how we look at an offensive lineman out of high school and what we're looking at, of course, now with the junior colleges in the portal. Biggest thing I look at is how athletic they are. And I'm not just saying this as a recruiting point, but the offense we run is, for an offensive lineman, it's a blast. I mean, you're pulling, you're moving. You're not just moving from here to the end of the desk. You have to be athletic. You have to be able to play in space, change direction. And it's exciting. You're not thinking about it, but you're running all the time. And it's really changed on how we recruit a kid and what he can do on the field, how he moves, how he changes direction, how athletic he is. All those come into play now. It's not just about being big and strong and stiff anymore and moving 3 feet. You have to be able to get out and move in space.
You got to be able to run now. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be mean and sloppy. You got to be able to move around. The game used to be inside out. Now it's outside in. What I mean by that is that you can't just rely on your physical attributes anymore as an offensive lineman. It's a passing league now. And this is not only just for Sean Lewis offense. This is worldwide. This is just what the game has evolved to.
Hey, Coach. Jake Schwanitz, DMVR Sports. You obviously followed Coach Lewis over, but you guys also brought Savion Washington with you. What kind of player is Colorado getting in him, and what can he do for this offense?
You're getting a great character kid. You're getting a great athlete. I've known Savion, man. He came to our camps at Kent when he was a sophomore or junior. 6'8", man. I think he's been 6'8" forever, and he's really grown into a great player. And I think his ceiling is still climbing. I think he's got a lot of potential, and we're still working with that. But I was holding my breath the whole time. When you're at the Power 5 now, or when you're at the Group of 5, and you develop a kid as a freshman or sophomore in this day and age, you're holding your breath the whole time if somebody doesn't come in and take them. And that was the deal with Savion. We knew. Matter of fact, I talked to Coach Lewis this summer at a summer camp, and we were watching some bigger athletes, some kids in some camps, and I just said, man, it's just a matter of time for Savion. and fortunately, we end up coming here and we end up getting him here. So big things ahead for Savion.
If there was one player I had to bet my money on that Coach Bill or Boyle do not have to worry about, and that's Tyler Brown. You guys know Tyler Brown is no stranger to the channel. Heck, I'm going to actually have to try to get this brother on the channel, man. Get him in an interview or something. I know they're busy right now, but this brother lifted 405 pounds yesterday, man. And Tyler is just one of those guys, man, that come to work. He don't do no talking. He let his work do the talking. Probably the first one in the building, last one to leave. And these be the type of guys we see on NFL Sunday. As you guys see his hard work rub off on his teammates in a positive way. And we heard Coach Boyer speaking about the offensive line needing to be able to run, and that fast, high-paced Sean Lewis offense. And I can guarantee you, Tyler will be that guy. He will be able to run. He will be strong. He will be fast. He's everything you want in the offensive lineman.
It's going to be night and day compared to what they're used to, and I'm hoping they believe me, and I'm reminding them every day.
Hey, Coach, Tyler King, Denver Gazette. You mentioned your time at Chadron State. I'm just curious, what you learned during that period of time and kind of what you remember about the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference. Obviously, Colorado School of Mines has been very successful, local team the last couple of years there. What do you remember about that time, and what did you learn about yourself while you were there?
Basically, you grow up in Division II. I miss Division II, to be honest with you. I miss the relationships. I miss the staff we had. I miss the players. I was asked earlier what the difference is between Power 5 and Colorado and a place like Chadron State. Depth, obviously. You don't have the depth, but there's kids there that I would take right now that I had in those days. The toughness part, Danny Woodhead, Joe McClain.
He absolutely correct. There's so much talent in D2 football. Heck, I had talent in D2, but I can remember playing with guys that you see in the picture. Chris Lyles, he ended up playing in the CFL. Heck, one of my good buddies, Malcolm Butler, he's from Vicksburg, Mississippi. We both from the same hometown. We would train together every day. As you guys see, I'm not sure you guys can see the photo, but he would inbox me during the off season and we would go and train. And everybody know Malcolm Butler, man, the Super Bowl hero. Those was the best days. That's why you guys see that I'm always passionate about this game, man, because I've been around a lot of greatness. He's absolutely correct, man. There's a lot of talent that came out of D2 and D3 football, man. If you good, they will find you. My uncle James Williams played for the Seattle Seahawks. My cousin Mika Pellerin played for the Dallas Cowboys. My mentor Tony Smith played for the Atlanta Falcons. I mentioned Malcolm Butler, Super Bowl hero. I know you guys know him. Cousin Eric Warfield played for the Kansas City Chiefs. Heck, you guys are subscribed to somebody right now, had an opportunity to play in the NFL, man. Alonzo Highsmith, I worked out for him, Cleveland Browns general manager. I worked out for Nick Cassero, NFL Patriots. But it's just a matter of I just couldn't crack that NFL 53-man roster, but I'm thankful for that opportunity. And I just mention these things so you guys can see where the passion comes from. It comes from being around all of this. I'm very thankful that YouTube still allows me to be able to use my channel to be around the game that I love. And I'm going to continue to give you guys fire content, man. If we can get into the doors of Colorado, it's going to get even better, man. But anyway, let's continue the video.
I can name off 50 guys, that we had at Chadron, and obviously the coaching staff, the guys I coached around. Those guys can coach anywhere, so learned a lot, obviously, and especially as being a coordinator, a strength coach, a head coach, to painting the game fields on Thursday, to doing the laundry, to you do it all, and I love that stuff. I still do it now if I could. I'm not painting here, but I'm doing as much as I can.
Two more. Go ahead, Jack.
Hi, Coach. Jack Carlo with the Buffalo's Wire. Not sure how much film you've watched. I know Coach Lewis said he hasn't watched much, but just curious what your overall thoughts are on the current group of O-linemen at CU.
A lot of work to do, and that's just from. I'm never going to knock any other programs or any other staffs, but we've got a lot of ground to make up, strength-wise. The physical part really has to come along, and that's something that jumped out right off the bat, and that's going to happen. But I think the overall development, and like I said before, I think getting these guys in a mindset to where you're going to run, we're going to run 100 plays a game, and we might hit 150 plays in practice. Just getting that attitude to where get yourself ready. It's coming, and I mentioned that before, and you hope they believe you, but it's I think right now the kids are doing a great job in the weight room. They're doing a great job with the little time we get with them throughout the week, and that's why I said before I cannot wait until spring ball.
Last one. Coach, Sean Keeler at the Denver Post let you out with a deep one here. How is working for Deion Sanders different than what you thought or might have thought because you're working with him for the first time? And how is it similar? How is it what you expected so far, and how is it different? Because we're all learning that too.
I love the fact that he is, and I didn't know Coach Prime at all before I took the job, just the old school approach. Not saying I'm an old timer, but just being around the guys that coach me, that I've been with. I love the discipline part of it. That's a big deal to me, and he brings that up every day. I love his staff meetings. He doesn't beat around the bush. You're going to know exactly where you stand with him. There are so many great qualities that I love about him. How there are no individuals on that practice field. Everybody dresses the same, or you don't come out to practice. So just that mindset that we're in this together. Nobody's a separate, nobody's an individual. And he constantly reminds us, of where we're at and what you should be doing. And I love that fact, man. He doesn't beat around the bush, and those are the kind of guys I love.
So my final thoughts, it was a very good interview. I feel like Coach Boyle want more out of these guys, man. I don't think he's impressed with their progress right now. And that's what you expect from your O-line, Coach, because the O-line is your more meanest group. They don't get their name called. They don't get a chance to score touchdowns in the game. You know what I'm saying? They're the meanest, but they put in the hard work. One of the things Coach Boyle said that stood out to me, he said they may run 150 practice plays, but in the game they may run 100. And what stuck out to me is when Herm Edwards said something similar to this. He said, you will practice more than you will ever play. You know what I'm saying? You will practice more times than you will ever play in a football game. And with me knowing this, I still wouldn't trade playing the game of football for anything in the world. It's a privilege, it's an honor to do this. If you guys like the video, definitely subscribe to the channel.